The St. George's Institute, SGI, is an independently owned co-educational secondary school, grades 7 through 11, licensed to operate in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. SGI opened its doors in September 2020, right amidst the COVID pandemic, and it is Grenada's first collaborative school offering a remodeled school program, which was heavily influenced by the design of the Masters of Education program currently offered by the St. George's University. This program, with its big ideas of collaboration, inquiry, identity, equity, agency, and power, and with a focus on leadership, pedagogy, and curriculum, was very instrumental in providing the toolkit necessary to refine my vision to meet the need for a more effective school program at this level of education in Grenada. This capstone, an article entitled "A Journey to Engage, Empower, and Educate by Changing a System from the Inside Out, Establishing Grenada's First Collaborative School," tells the story of my SGI journey and is a demonstration of learning, reflection, and application. It highlights the educational experience for students that is authentic, collaborative, and engaging, an alternative to traditional school programs that currently exist in Grenada. Born into a family of 15 strong-willed and strong personality siblings, I knew I had to defy the odds of such a death sentence. I was born to working-class parents who prized educational achievement and scholarship and led by example. Having been hypnotically drawn into the teaching profession from a very tender age, I enjoyed watching my mother express her passion daily in her classrooms. She left no stone unturned in reaching her students, as she endeavored to ensure each student within her care experienced success. I too became intrigued about being a part of an education system that fueled such passions. My mother was an elementary teacher and then principal and served outstandingly, making an impact on Grenada's educational system for decades. My curiosity with learning was therefore birthed from the womb. As I began my career as a high school teacher, it was easy for me to see many gaps in the system. In my mind, in our Grenadian schools, some key areas in need of more focused attention included teaching our students collaborative skills and team building, catering for a variety of individual learner differences and learner styles, catering for students who do not learn routinely, infusing education with innovation, teaching for transfer and employability skills, fostering a values-based philosophy to premise our educational programs, and all in all, developing our school programs with a consistent and structured vision for leadership and joyful teaching and learning experiences. This capstone then presented an opportunity to realign misaligned school programs, curriculum, and pedagogy, and to create a vision that encapsulated all parts of the school system effectively. I approached the opening of a school as an action research study with an inquiry stance, asking the questions as we designed and asking even more questions after we launched. The process of studying the benefits and affordances of establishing a collaborative school culture in a secondary school in Grenada then provided the data I needed to make connections to the literature and translate theory to practice. Particular attention had to be paid to how the collaborative school culture was developing and its impact on student achievement, teacher development, parental involvement, and overall principal leadership. This way, not just the school leader is involved in framing this culture, but all constituents need to be integrally involved to contribute to a culture of change. I exposed the teachers and staff to a process that was reflective and premised on their involvement, input, and effort in the decision-making that would guide the intended culture that was established at our school. Additionally, the parents' and students' input were planned for at critical junctures so that they too were part of this process. In the many months leading up to the establishment of SGI, focus groups, workshops, informal and formal observations of teaching and learning experiences, and dialogues with experienced educational leaders were all rich in providing data. Additionally, once SGI was launched, comparisons of baseline survey data and surveys halfway into the first year provided real-time data. One key data mining process was experienced in the development of the school's vision and mission statements. Here, a more knowledgeable other skillfully framed the questions to allow each member of the founding faculty team to reflect on their own educational philosophies as we explore the alignment of individual teacher educational philosophies with that of mine and how this all fit into the overall vision of the school program. In listening to why certain words or phrases were central to each person, it was an opportunity to explore identities and how they have affected our educational experiences and ultimately what we have come to subscribe as our critical stance. It is through this process that we were able to develop our vision and mission statements. During the process of visioning, there emerged some common themes, including inclusion, integrity, innovation, exemplary academic quality, and teamwork. Our personal experiences within colonized pedagogy may have inadvertently inspired us to believe in the need to compete and outperform for one to stay relevant or be considered worthy. But it was also heartening to see that our collective experiences had also inspired us to desire a learning environment that featured more inclusivity and unity through teamwork. And that was despite we ourselves not experiencing that as students or even as teachers. We grew passionate about the ways we can make the learning environment fun and psychologically safe for students, and the learning process more attractive, and it's at this juncture that we tagged our tagline, Joyful Learning Experiences. Even as we launch and engage in purposefully developing the school culture, frequent feedback sessions with teachers allowed for more input into shaping the remodeled school program as it unfolded. Language was critical in helping to frame our collaborative school culture in a way that, when articulated, it became clearer to the various stakeholders. Collaborative inquiry was significant to help the inquiry stance of our teachers develop and simultaneously model to their students, as the behaviors modeled by faculty collaborators have an impact on the growing school culture. Prioritizing collaborative teaching with the requisite time given to planning together or changing perspectives and approaches to better understand each other, and encouraging students to question beliefs, traditions, and perspectives were all types of behaviors that could be considered culture-inducing, as learned from the theory and realized in practice. One of the most challenging aspects in developing this new school culture was experiencing engaging parents in the middle of a pandemic where social and physical distancing protocols were strict. Learning to engage parental communities through virtual platforms was quite the experience. Despite these challenges, it is important that the involvement of parents remain a priority if the collaborative school culture is to grow. As a result of my engagement in this master's program, I felt sufficiently empowered to design a school program that is more effective in meeting learning outcomes and addressing key systemic problems in our Grenadian schools. For this capstone, I have penned a publishable article for an established journal for educational studies. My commentary article outlines a journey of SGI to date in meeting its vision. This article, the first of many to come, has the ability to provide a roadmap for other colleagues and educators in the field already, or prospective school leaders. This recording of my story has the potential to start a library of local resources that are applicable to the Grenadian context on the establishment of culture in schools. It also speaks to female leadership and socio-political identity layers and relations. Subsequent articles on the development of the school is envisioned, and ultimately, a book publication. As a young female school leader operating a school in Grenada, it is important to be willing to transgress, as it were, and be willing to question prevailing traditions, policies, and school programs in their effectiveness to address the current challenges in our education system, and to be able to affect real change. It is also important to use the richness of my contexts and identities to help make learning more relevant and meaningful, to better answer the question of the real purpose of schooling for my students and teachers. Together, through collaborative effort, input and action from all stakeholders, and through a sustained change in school culture, this journey may be used as a vehicle to model what we hope to be an enduring educational reform and systemic change. It has been nothing short of an absolute euphoric explosion for me when in one focus group I'd listen to students explain why SGI is not easy, but the learning is easier. Using this capstone to record this journey and then retelling the story has been a powerful experience for me in developing my voice, building my confidence as an educational leader practitioner, and understanding the true meaning of reflection on practice and reflection in practice. This has been a truly authentic and educative experience through reliving. To quote John Dewey, a progressive educational thought leader, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. I remain driven to remain passionate, empowered, and purposeful. So let's raise our glasses to education and to living.